Welcome back to Watchbox Studios and Watches Tonight. I'm your host, Tim Masso.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Watch Insider. My name is Brian and thank you all for logging on.
Hello and welcome to another episode, a very special episode of The Trading Desk. My name is Joshua Thanos and this is my buddy, Jason Main.
Okay, the most overused words in watches. Every one of these is like nails on a blackboard. And not just nails, Wolverine's claws. Icon. Okay, there are real icons, there are borderline icons, and then there's just fakes. There are some watches that have no iconic status whatsoever, and they are pretenders. I went on the Time Zone Industry News Forum where they put all the press releases for new watches that come out, and I just searched the word icon. I got 158 returns. There are not 158 design icons in this niche industry. Okay, when we're talking about a Rolex or Submariner or an AP Jumbo, sure, those are icons. They transcend this industry. My mom knows the Rolex Submariner. She's not into watches. She is into Zinn now because I bought her one, but not Rolex. But when the Corum Golden Bridge or the Bremont Martin Baker come up, we're clearly talking about lower level niche interest and brand relevant models, but not transcendent designs. And when the talk is of a Piaget black tie and the word iconic is used, that's almost a slight to actual design icons. There are maybe enough design icons in this industry to fill up 2 hands worth of fingers, maybe less. Bold, an unfortunate convention, bold. That word, born of the 2000s, the era of excess. A lot of times, that's not a Photoshop. That actually happened. That's called the Chimera, and it comes from U-boat. And if nothing else, they picked the right name. But it's a euphemism, this word bold, for too big, absurd, and dubious taste. Oftentimes, these watches carry names like Bang King Chrono Diver Titan Extreme XL, with the word extreme actually spelled with an X. It's often used preemptively in press releases to frame ridiculous design choices and excessive case sizes in phraseology that pressures you to validate your manhood rather than call an ugly spade an ugly spade. What do you mean this Chrono Diver Titan Volcano Extreme XL looks as hideous as the squid from Watchmen? Watchmen the comic, by the way, not the movie. Are you not bold enough to wear this watch, little man? And thereby, bold becomes one of the most obnoxious and overused watches in horology. Jumping towards patina. Patina, a once innocuous word that had little relevance to watch collectors. In general, this means one of 3 things, each of which is played out. First, visible damage to a vintage watch that someone is trying to convince you is worth way too much money. Patina. Watch out for that word. Second, a cloying application of fake tritium or radium fade lume on a modern watch designed to make it look old. JLC, I love you, but I'm not letting you get away with that one. That looks downright orange. These are pre-torn jeans for your wrist, guys, and those are way played out. Those are almost vintage. Some company selling a bronze watch, this is the third use of patina, wants you to know that the case will accumulate crud over time and that you should consider this a feature, not a bug. So patina, damage, cloying dials, and crud on your watch. That's patina, and it's overused. Investment, how we delude ourselves in the watch collector fraternity. This one speaks for itself. There are so many better watches than will ever be investments. Like a Zinn U1. That's not an investment. And there are so many better investments than watches. It goes both ways. There are investments that are more secure, more projectable, more lucrative, more liquid, that don't have the maintenance costs of luxury watches. A salesman telling you a watch will increase in value and make you richer is a sign of trouble ahead. That's one of those yellow light experiences when buying a watch from a seller. So investment, overused in the watch world. And that's one of my ears bleed. That's one that makes my ears actually bleed when I hear it. Let's jump to something that's about as different as you can get.
So I saw this watch and, you know, A, the first thing that came to my mind is throwback, but B, you know, it's summertime and I just thought, like, why the hell not? So here we have the original iteration of the Breitling Emergency, and when the Emergency came out, like, the concept, I think overall, like watch people loved. Like, you know, you have this technical instrument and you could be anywhere in the world. You know, we're not going to pull out the antennas now, but you pull out these 2 antennas and then somebody comes and rescues you wherever you are. And just the concept was awesome, right? Like, you know, it was a true tool watch, and there was a purpose for the item. So originally it could actually only be sold to pilots, and then it transitioned out that anybody could buy the watch. But one of the features of the watch that I thought was most interesting is that they did them in different metals, stainless steel. This particular example is titanium, and it has a bright orange dial. And you know, you could keep it on the titanium bracelet, you could put it on a rubber strap, and you know, you've got the digital display there. So it's a highly technical, functional watch. You've got the analog display as well, so it's similar to the other aerospaces that are out there. But it's an overall big, chunky feel on the wrist. It definitely is a conversation piece. And I just think, like, if you're looking for a really cool, unique watch that you're not going to really see around, where the prices right now are not that crazy, this is a really good option. And also, it's just a bright orange, very cool dial.
A couple things to mention about this model. You can see this is the roughly 1995 to 2001 model, 43 millimeters. You can see it's on a Professional 1 bracelet matching titanium. The watch is bold. It's got that volcano orange dial, and it has a compass rose style bidirectional rotating bezel. It's a super quartz. It's a multifunction. It is very handy, but I do have to warn you, God help you if you deploy that emergency beacon without proper cause. If you have due cause, if you have force majeure, as they say, and you use this watch properly, rumor has it Breitling will pay you $25,000 and service your watch. But you are looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars in international fines if you set this thing off for fun. Now, what does it actually have? Well, it's got that caliber 56 high-end quartz movement, and then that's based on an ETA, but the actual beacon itself is made by Dassault, the French defense contractor. You know them from the Dassault Mirage, for example, a combat aircraft. Well, that part is remarkable because it broadcasts on the now somewhat obsolete 121.5 megahertz frequency, and it has a duration of 48 hours and a range of about 160 kilometers. What you do is you screw this little cap off, and
Should we do it?
Are you ready to write the check?
Is it even on?
Well, there's actually testing gear that comes with this watch, so you can safely test it to make sure it still works as a beacon without, you know, paying the big bucks. So the timepiece is wonderfully versatile, and if I were offshore sailing, if I were hiking in remote areas, if I were out on a survival outing or a hunting trip, any condition where I might encounter a genuine emergency, that's considered fair game for the use of the watch. I can't imagine being in a 40-foot boat sailing around the world or cruising offshore, losing my craft and not having a way to radio for assistance. This thing is usable on the still monitored, the somewhat obsolete but still monitored 121.5, so this is still very much valid rescue gear, and frankly, it'd be a wonderful way to express your enthusiasm for watches. Probably a fashion very few folks ever have. Google British aviators in Antarctica. You can learn all about an instance when that watch was actually used for its intended purpose.
So a watch that, number one watch I want to add in the next year, which for sure I will, is a black dial stainless steel Sky Dweller. So the 326934 in a black dial. A friend of mine in Florida had one and let me try it on recently, and I'm just like, okay, I have to have this watch. So that's a watch that by the end of the year I will absolutely own. Hopefully I'll be able to get on a list somewhere, maybe here, and get a new one. If I can't, then I'll have to buy it at market price. But either way, that watch will be in my collection by the end of the year. What about you?
I think that's a great, like, aspirational piece to own, because who knows what the market's going to be, but you've decided that that's the watch for you. So regardless of what the market is, like, and it's an awesome wearable piece. Mm-hmm. For me, I will say though, my mentality for this list is not so much the amount of pieces, it's what they're going to be. Mm-hmm. And there's a piece that I have really said, like, one day I'm going to get that watch. Sure. And before I owned any Rolexes, it was that watch, and that's the Smurf.
Oh yeah, so you're gonna have a Smurf by the end of the year?
I'm gonna push
$25,000.
I'm gonna push really hard.
Hey, man,
I don't
you gotta
listen.
rack up those commissions, man.
It would be. I mean, I get it that it's a very aspirational goal, but it can't, in my opinion, like, it can't be a goal unless it's far fetched. You know. Sure. And if I knew it was gonna be, it'd be easy for me to say, hey, listen, my next watch, like I love this. My next watch is going to be, you know, the new Ultra Deep.
Okay.
You know, and I'll just make a phone call and I'll get one next week. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
So I've, for the longest time, said that I really want that. Second place, if it wasn't going to be that watch, I really, really like the all gold GMT with the green dial.
Okay.
But-
Discontinue now.
But I gotta say,
Yellow gold
love
GMT?
I love a sub
Smurf?
over the GMT case. So the Smurf for me is, you know, it's stealth wealth, whatever you want to call it. It's neutral, it's blue. Don't have a blue watch except for the markers on this now. But just because you gave an overview, I will say I've pared down my collection quite a bit. I have this now. Panerai gone, so I have this. I have the non-date 114060. I have the Polar, the 216570 in 42 millimeters. I have the Breitling Aerospace, the black titanium. And then I got a handful of watches that don't quite make it in the box. So some Seikos. There might be a couple other little dress watches
Same
in
as
there.
me. Yeah, just a bunch of
that's
stack
the
of
stuff
stuff.
that stacks on the side. And then the Seamaster Professional.
Oh, yeah.
The Bond, the wave dial.
Did you not sell that to somebody recently?
We'll see. I don't know. It's pending.
Okay.
It's pending sale.
Oh, so he one of the guys in the office told me, "Hey, guess what? I just bought Jason's Omega."
Yeah. So 50% deposit has been placed until the rest is
I see.
secured.
Okay,
then.
good.
But yeah.
So
I
yours
gotta-
is Smurf is the next one, right?
I think the Smurf for me is the, I can't say that it's absolutely going to be the next watch because you never know what really pops up. But that's the next watch that I've got my sights set on for sure.
I gotcha. Well, I would say that. So I could definitely see myself picking up a Smurf by the end of the year. So definite will be the black dial stainless steel Sky Dollar. Without a doubt, I'll have that watch. I also want to buy myself, and I know we're going Rolex heavy, but I want to buy myself a 40 millimeter President. So by the end of the year, that'll probably be like a birthday present for myself.
That's a baller watch, right?
Yeah. Well, that's going to be my
the
stretch
idea,
goal.
right?
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely want to own that. I would like to add a Journe to the collection as well. Probably a CS, like a platinum or rose gold CS. Probably platinum or rose gold.
No vertical tourbillon. Just shoot for the.
Yeah. Well, I want to
The
buy a
CS
house too.
is
So
the CS is awesome. I could get behind that.
it's just a good watch to have. Yeah.
Yeah. The Senograph is.
Though I don't have a lot of Senograph is where it's at. I don't have a lot of
Senograph
opportunities
is far
to
and
wear.
away my favorite Journe.
Wait, that I agree with you. That's the best Journe. That's the best movement he makes. That's the best Journe he makes. I think that anybody who disagrees with me is wrong, but that's why we have our own opinions, right? But I don't have a lot of opportunities to wear dress watches, and I don't, especially my new position, I won't. I'm doing sales as well, but it's mostly business to business sales.
Yeah.
It's a completely different industry, but I don't really have a lot of opportunities to wear dress watches, so we'll see if the Journe actually makes it to the collection. But I mean, besides that, I want to get a Speedmaster. We've been toying with the idea of going back and forth with Speedmaster. I definitely want to buy one. I'm going to buy one. That'll be easy. That's going to probably be the next one I pick up because that's an easy
one that'll just like pop up and you'll just grab it. It's not going to be. But any specific one or no?
No, I really what I want is Panda, and I saw one on Instagram the other day, and I asked the guy how much, and he said $7,600. And I go, okay, I'm not gonna spend for
no
the
Ultraman for you?
No, I mean Ultraman's cool, but I like I've always liked the Panda. If you guys check out my Instagram, which is @Mr. Thanos, I posted a picture of a Panda that I saw a while back. I was feeling nostalgic. I'm like, man, I should have. I at that time I was gonna buy it, and that was probably my first year or second year in buying and selling watches. I was 25 years old, was starting to make some money, but wasn't sure that I could actually spend money on watches. Now, you and I are both over the hump that we're comfortable spending, $5,000, $10,000 on a watch, $15,000 on a watch at this point. So